Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line in community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Hello, welcome everybody to episode 13. I'm joined by Alexander Deshaw. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate that. Sunday night, I appreciate you taking the time for, stopping in and chewing the fat a little bit. I appreciate you. How was your day?
Not too bad. Got a little sun. Went to my mom's pool. So,
You do look a little tanner. You do look a little bit.
Yeah, little.
I've got this bright ass light that's like it's like a UFO has come like So new to Mythics, for people that have not seen before, it's like a welcoming hug. It's like it's for people that have never, that are new to the line, and also people that have been around. I just like to hear people's stories about what they collected growing up, but then their journey, because it seems like everyone has a story about how they were introduced into the greatest toy line, Mythic Legions. So I'm always curious, because I've called them kind of a niche toy line, and I don't know if that's right, and I definitely don't mean that as a negative. Especially like somebody had mentioned, like, I wish that they would come out to the West Coast or be more of a presence in the West Coast. And I agree. I know that they do have some street teams and meetups and stuff in the West Coast. But I wish that there was more going on out there, and hopefully one day maybe they'll have like a satellite store, out there or something, or distribution thing, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You got to try and get to those cons. But anyways, so let's start at the beginning, man. Tell me about young Alexander. When did you kind of start? When were you interested in figures, and what kind of toys did you collect maybe as a kid?
In the 80s, mid to late 80s. Started with like G.I. Joe and He-Man, Thundercats, Silverhawks.
So kind of my era. Sounds like the stuff that I was gravitating towards, because of the cartoons and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Did you have a favorite line?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I had more Joes than anything, but it's kind of like crossed over into like today's collecting. Like I had I cherry picked. I was not like a completionist by any means with anything.
That's always good, man. Being a completionist is rough on the wallet, and it's stressful too, trying to get all the different figures and stuff like that, and completing, especially for exclusives or stuff like that. It could be tough for sure.
Absolutely. Is my internet going bad?
No, it's okay. It kind of blinked for a second, but I think you're good now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Hopefully it. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So what's your earliest like memory of toys that you had as a kid? What was something that you were, when you were young?
Castle Grayskull.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I said, I'd have like one or two from each line. I never had like a whole team. So I never had like the entire Thundercats team or the entire Silverhawks. I had like one or two of each. And they all just kind of Justice League together, if you will. Um, the one of the I
Yeah.
think one of the earliest
Yeah,
lines
I
that
did
I
that. I mean,
kind of was like a completionist. What's that?
mhm.
Oh, is it freezing up again?
Yeah, it might be me. I'm not sure. I had a little internet sign saying that I had an internet issue, but it seems like it's okay now.
Okay.
How are you on your side? You okay? Is the picture okay, or have did
Yeah,
I freeze up or anything?
nope. It kind of got like crackly.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it looks like
uh,
it's okay now. We'll keep trying. We'll forge forward. Sorry about that.
no, you're
Yeah,
good. You're
I was not like, you know,
good.
I was kind of the poor kid, so like, I would get a figure for my birthday and, one or two figures for Christmas or something.
Yep.
So, when it's like that, it's like you got to you got to do a team. You got to, you know, all the rejects together and
Exactly.
work and use your imagination and stuff because,
Yep.
you don't have the whole, you don't have the whole GI Joe force, unfortunately. But it's fun. You make it work when you're a kid. Who cares? You have a good time. You're not worried about scale and stuff like that. Or I
Yep.
did when I was a kid. I had the Dungeons and Dragons toys, and I was playing with those with my He-Man figures. I'm like, He-Man's kind of short, but the guy's got muscle. It's all right, no big deal.
Right.
Imagination, you're not really worried about that type of. So you had Castle Grayskull and
Yep.
Masters of the Universe was a fun thing that you collected.
Yeah. Um, I remember the year of Batman '89. I had the Batcave.
I don't
I don't know
think
if
I
my mom
remember
got like a
that.
bonus that year or something because I got the Batcave, the Batwing, the Batmobile, and I think all of the figures.
Wow.
It just kind of happened. Um,
That's a nice
it
setup
was
right there, man.
it was sweet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That was such a huge thing. I tell people that weren't around or that maybe were too young for the Batman 89 like event, but like that was like I think for us kind of like comic book movie geek, nerdy kind of comic book people, like that was like an event for us. Like that was I think I like ditched school just to go to see the movie. And I remember like I was not the only one. I got there that morning, Friday morning, and like there was a line at the theater and it went like hundreds of feet. Like people were standing in the parking lot just to get in to see the movie. Like it was a massive
it was a thing.
massive event. So that's cool that you got figures, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was
like
that
I said,
was
that was like the
crazy.
only line that I really like had everything of, and it
Mhm.
wasn't like I asked for it. I'm sure I like circled the Sears catalog, you know what I mean?
Right?
But
Oh, I miss those days. The catalogs,
yeah,
Sears and Macy's and those different catalogs. I would just drool, like they had pictures of like Secret Wars and Superpowers and
oh
GI
yeah,
Joe and
and like the
you know
setup,
s-
the pictures were like the
yeah,
actual toys, but it was like on a mat that looked like a battleground, and
yeah.
it's sweet.
They knew how to get us, man.
Oh yeah,
They knew how to
absolutely.
get us. Yeah, I would just daydream. I would just stare at those. I was like, oh, I want
I
all of
would do
those
this and
figures.
I would do this. And,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there was some stuff that like I would never see, like the shuttle Tidarium and from Return of the Jedi. It's like thing is huge. I'm
right?
not gonna there's no way I'm gonna get that, but it would be cool. Or the USS Flag, the
Oh
GI
my,
Joe ship, thing is like
yeah.
7 feet long,
You could lay on it like a bed.
right? My parents would laugh at me. You want this? You're out here, damn. You got a job, son? There's no way, dude. There's
Right.
no way. Yeah, there's no way. Even if they had the money, they'd be like, I'm not paying that much money for a toy. You're out of your damn mind, son.
And now look how
But
much it's going for.
I know it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I get like, like people like me, I think I there's a lot of stuff I didn't have. And I'm not saying, oh, poor me, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for myself. No, but it's fun to go back now, like, and pick up some of the stuff that I didn't get to get as a kid. You
Yeah.
know, like some of the older, like the vintage toys and stuff. It's fun, to get, or to get what you had that you don't have anymore. You know
Yep.
what I mean? It's always fun. Like I've got a little shelf in one of the details that's got like, Thundercats and Silverhawks and Wheeled Warriors and stuff like that. It's just fun to, and I put them all together. I don't care. I mean, some
Right.
people are like, oh no, don't do that. It's like, nah, who cares? But it's just fun to have like your old stuff again. Do you have any of you still have your old toys, or is that
I
stuff
don't.
gone?
It's all gone now,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But
Yeah.
what's nice about in today's age is they're redoing a lot of that stuff
Hmm.
in today's articulation,
Yes.
and that I've been buying a lot of that stuff.
That stuff interests you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
was looking at like the Masters of the Universe. I love that stuff as a kid, but like once I got a little bit older, I kind of like stepped away. Like I still loved it, but I didn't really collect it, and I haven't really gone back. But every once in a while, I'll pause and look at like it's like Masters of the Universe Origins, I think, where it looks like the old figures, but the articulation's better, and I'm like, I kind of need those. I kind of need those. I haven't yet, but it's like, like nowadays it's like, you can always, you know find it, whether it's Amazon or eBay or something, you can always find it.
Yeah.
you know
Macari has a lot of lots for sale.
I love Mercari, dude. Like
Yep.
I'm always on that damn thing. I'm always on that damn thing. I get
Yeah.
alerts. It's like new mythics that dropped. Okay, let me check. I'll go check. But
What's I guess what's even better about collecting now is I have an 11-year-old son, and he recently has been going through this turtle phase, which I mean I've been a turtle fan for I mean since the 80s, but he
mhm,
wanted all the retro figures. So he
mhm.
has a set of the re-release from a few years back, but he's been picking up when we go to shows just loose uh, vintage turtle bad guys and stuff, and
Yeah.
he's absolutely loving it. And it's fun to share that with him. I'm
Yes.
like, I had that thing, so like I have been buying some of the old stuff, but it's for him.
Yeah.
But I get the bonus of having the memory come back in my head. So
Yeah. It's fun to have something like that with your kids. I forgot to ask Joe about that because he had a few kids um as he was collecting, and I was going to ask him if he had, raised any of them to be collectors themselves. So that's fun, Alexander, that you can do that with your son. I did the same thing. Like I don't think my stepson had a choice. I was like buying figures for him. I had told the story where we went to go see the first X-Men movie, or we'd seen the first Spider-Man movie, and as a treat, it's like, hey, let's go to Toys R Us, and they had all the figures there, and I'd buy him a Spider-Man, and the Green Goblin, and or Wolverine or something,
yeah,
and it kind of it got me reinvigorated into collecting because the figures were so damn cool.
oh yeah,
They're like way better than the basic retro stuff that we had.
the
So
5 points of articulation that we had.
yeah, which was fine back then. Like I was like, oh damn, this figure doesn't really, I mean, I didn't really think about it. You just use your imagination. Luke, he still kicked ass, even though he could only do this. You know what I mean?
Right,
His hands
right.
were like this. It's like, you know, yeah, right, right. You made it work. You made it work, right? Exactly. Um,
Yeah,
so now it's like we're spoiled, it's like this stuff is just amazing. My batteries
yeah. It's
not
it,
working right
I don't
here.
know if you want to call it the golden age of collecting, but
But I say it's a good time now.
yeah, like we're getting the
Yes.
best of both worlds,
Yes,
really.
it was the 80s were a great time to 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 be into toys, because that was kind of the dawn of all these amazing figures. I mean, it started with like Mego and stuff like that, but that was just kind of the beginning. And then we got GI Joe and Star Wars and Transformers and Thundercats and He-Man. It's like so much cool stuff,
It's
for us kids.
yeah, the 80s brought a lot of properties out,
Yes.
and then I mean, they're still around today, so it's like going full circle almost,
Yeah, I
like
was I was thinking about that. So do you think that the reason why they're still around is because of people that like us that are still into that stuff? You know what I mean? So like
oh,
say, okay, here's an example. So say your son didn't know, okay, or say there was, I'm trying to think of an example. Like if you weren't into turtles, do you think he would be into turtles?
probably not.
Yeah, so it's almost like we're the
But
conduit or the
well,
bridge.
I mean, I say that, but I mean, come on, let's face it, the turtles are fucking awesome.
They are
Sorry.
awesome. Yeah. So maybe it's like if the formula works, don't mess with it. If it's cool, if Darth Vader was cool when we were kids, he's still cool,
Right.
or
Yep.
the turtles. So,
Yep.
I get it. It makes sense. It makes sense. That's just stuff that I ask myself when I'm alone wondering about collecting. It's like, you know, are we the ones that continue these properties because we're still around, or are they just so good that kids are newly interested and think that they're cool also, or is it because of us?
I think it's
Like,
a
have we
mixture, really.
yeah, it's like, have we become the executives at Hasbro that think, oh, GI Joe is still cool, so I'm gonna make it, keep it cool.
Yeah,
you know so I don't know, it's interesting.
it is.
Yeah, but no, I love that though. That's cool that you and your son are able to collect and share and stuff like that. Like, it's like a hobby that you guys share together, and I think that's
Yeah,
pretty damn cool.
it is. It's
That's pretty
it's
cool.
it's really fun to see everything through his eyes
Mm.
and see the excitement that he has.
That
So
feeling, dude, of finding, or like going to a con or a show or a swap meet or a toy shop, and you see like something that you've been looking for. That's a
yeah.
rush, dude. They
Oh,
need a name
absolutely.
for that. They need a name for that, dude, because it's like,
Plastic crack.
yeah, plastic therapy, plastic crack, exactly. Exactly. I know that in California, where I'm from, my stepson would tell me stories about how he would go to a Target or Walmart, and they're
Mm.
hardcore there. Like, whenever there's a new release of like an exclusive figure, people are like waiting at the door,
Oh
and
wow.
they're like, you need to walk. The people at Target, like, walk, don't run, don't get hurt. And these people are like sprinting to go get these figures. And my stepson, like, he said that there's people that have pulled stuff out of his cart while he I'm like,
Wow.
that's crazy, man.
I'd be like,
It's
get your hands
crazy.
off my shit.
Yeah, that's mine. Jump back, man. That's my figure. But
Right.
fights in the parking lot and stuff, it's like,
That's insane.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. They're just toys, you
Right.
know they're just toys.
Tiny pieces of
So
plastic.
um that was your younger life. Did you take a break in collecting, um
Yeah, for
and did you
quite
kind
some
of give
time.
away, sell your old stuff, throw it away, give it away?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Or it was in a box at my mom's house, and she just said, "I'm gonna get rid of this stuff."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I got girls, I got real life, I got my car.
Yep.
I don't have time to, but we come
Yep.
back to it. We come
We
back
did.
to it.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, it's
And
that
it's
collector brain, I think.
I'm deep as ever in it now. So
There's no escape,
no, not at all.
and I'm okay with that. Like, uh, it's therapy. I have this tiny room, and I fill it, and I still try to find more shelf room and more room to pack, because I just like come in here like Fortress of Solitude and
Yeah.
just like enjoy, like, I just look around and it just makes me happy,
Yeah.
you know, like that feeling, it's, you have your family and you have your friends and you have, things that matter in life, but then there's also that, the toys, that something, whatever it is, whether it's toys or not, but there's that something that really makes you satisfied and happy and at peace and all that. So
Yeah.
it's
It's
toys for
therapy,
me, man.
really.
Yeah, absolutely. So you kind of got busy with life as a young man,
Yep.
and so when did you start to come back to collecting?
Um, well, I would probably have to say it's because of my son.
Hmm.
We were at a GameStop or Target or somewhere, and he saw this Thor from Thor Ragnarok, and he's like, "I really want that." I
Hmm.
go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah."
Now, did you have any figures? Like, was there anything that he had noticed that you had or that you were interested in, or was it just a random?
I The only thing that I had were a couple boxes of Legos.
Mhm.
So he had a lot of exposure to that and the characters from that and stuff. Um, but figure wise, he had the little tyke stuff like
Mhm.
the play school,
Yeah,
um, cartoony looking little figures and stuff.
yeah.
So he knew a lot of the characters. But I mean, I started taking him to Marvel movies
Hmm.
at
Yep,
a
I did the
fairly young
same.
age and stuff. So he liked the characters. He was into that stuff. But he saw that Thor figure and he was like, "Dad, I really want this." And he was probably 6 at the time.
Is there a little tear in your eye when
And
you're like, "It's
yeah, I
my
was like,
boy, it's
"Really?"
my boy"?
So I bought him that, and then of course that came with a build a figure piece
Hmm.
for Gladiator Hulk, and it just kind of spiraled from there. We um, started hunting down all those pieces. I think we only bought like 4 of the figures from that wave, but
Hmm.
then we found all the bath pieces
Hmm.
just loose. Um,
That's what
and then
Macari is good for too.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
people. I mean, they're gonna ask $12 for that piece, but still,
I
it's
mean,
better
that's
than
kind of
paying
what you're
20, 25 for the figure that you don't want.
right. That you're gonna pay. That's basically what it costs in the package anyway. You're paying half for the figure, half for the build a figure piece. But
Exactly.
um, shortly after that, we started buying some Star Wars Black Series because he was into Rebels at the
Hmm.
time.
Dude, did you watch that show with him?
We started season 1,
Hmm.
and he's so funny because sometimes he'll be really into a show, and other times he'll be like, I don't really want to watch it anymore.
He
Okay.
gets burned down on it.
Yeah,
You guys
but
got to finish
I
that,
watched
dude.
it.
That
I've watched
show.
it.
Oh, that show.
It's
The end,
amazing.
the
Yeah,
last season
absolutely.
killed me, man. That
I
it
mean,
just
even
it
the
was like
Clone
Clone
Wars,
Wars, huh?
Bad Batch,
Oh
like all of
man,
them,
I'm
just
I'm I'm
amazing.
halfway through the last season of Bad Batch, and
Oh,
my stepson's like, "Did you watch it yet? Did you finish it? Did you?" I'm like, "No, man. I'm taking my time, dude. I savor it because I know this is the last season, so I'm just taking my time and
yeah,
enjoying each episode." Um, but yeah, those so good, dude. I'm waiting for the next animated Star Wars show. I don't know what it is, when it's going to be, what the era is going to be, but
right.
as
I
long
don't
as Dave
know.
Filoni,
I I don't know if they're just going to continue like the Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Jedi stuff.
I don't know, it doesn't seem the same to me. Like I need a episodic,
But a lot of
maybe.
those are really dark.
Yeah.
Like
Clone
the
Wars, dude, was dark.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Bad Batch is dark.
Some of the episodes
Right.
because there was a lot of filler episodes, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of dark stuff in Clone Wars.
Dude, the Clone Wars, like it took me years to, like, my stepson's like, you gotta see you gotta, and I'm like, yeah, 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 I'll watch it, I'll watch it. And I just kind of, and it ended like I it I didn't watch them. I watched everyone, I cherry pick every once in a while, but I'm like, it's too much. I'm not going back. But like I started working overnights, and I would come home I would work late, and I would come home and watch an episode, and then I watch another episode, and then the next day I watch another episode until I
Yep.
watched the whole damn thing. And I'm like, dude, this is more Star Wars than any other Star Wars movie,
That
show,
show was way better than what it needed to be.
dude. It was the best Star Wars, the best version, the best anything of Star Wars. Like, if you're a Star Wars fan, if you haven't seen Clone Wars, don't even talk to me, because you don't know what Star Wars is, dude. What's funny though, too,
Yeah.
not to go on a Star Wars tear on a Mythic show, but I think it's funny that, like, my stepson is 27 now, and so he grew up around the second trilogy. He grew up around Phantom Menace and
Phones and
yeah, Attack of the Clones, and what was the third one? Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
So those were his movies, and I'm old, so like the original trilogy was like my, and so he's like, oh, Obi-Wan. And I'm like, Obi-Wan is like this old dude, like, you know what I mean? Luke, you need to come with me. And I'm like, this guy, but like, so Luke was my guy, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Luke and Han were like two sides of the same coin. One was a rogue and one was like a farm boy hero, but they were both kind of cool, and they kicked butt and they weren't afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second trilogy, it was Obi-Wan. Like, Obi-Wan was like this super badass, jumping down and like confronting Grievous in front of all these robots. Like, this guy is so badass. Like, but it took me like 2 movies to get over it, because I kept seeing like old Obi-Wan, and I'm like, this guy is, it's like, who knew that this guy was, so amazing. But
Yeah.
it was just funny because we had 2 different perspectives. Like, his hero was Obi-Wan, and mine was, Luke and Han.
Yeah.
But so much fun, dude.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, Clone Wars, dude, that's so good.
Yep.
So good. So you guys started to buy like Marvel Legends, and what else did you guys, was it
The big
mostly Marvel
3.
stuff?
There's Marvel Legends, Black Series, and McFarlane.
Black Series. Yeah.
And then I play video games, and one of the games I was playing, and I still play to this day, is Dead by Daylight, and it's like
I don't think
horror. It's a horror game.
Is it first person?
If you're playing as the killer, yes. If you're playing as the survivor, it's third person.
I don't think
And
I
it's
played
like
that one then.
It's a 4-person survivor versus 1 killer game.
Is it random? Like, you could be the killer in this match, or you could be the survivor in a different match?
You can choose on which side, if you want to play killer or survivor. And then,
okay.
Yeah.
I think I watched a live stream of it once.
Okay. It's a lot of fun. Very frustrating sometimes too. But I'm a horror fan. I love horror. All the 80s slasher stuff that is kind of skipped down to this generation, where he absolutely loves that too. And then we found NECA's Ultimates horror line.
Mm-hmm.
And so we bought the Jason Voorhees, or one of the many Jason Voorhees figures.
There's a lot. Yeah. Those are fun though. It's a fun, I love that NECA, like, I might say that NECA might overdo some of their properties. Like, how many Predators do we need? How many aliens do we need? But they get better though. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take a break and not buy. I don't think I've ever bought a Predator figure. I think I have all the Schwarzenegger Dutch figures.
Okay.
But I would buy the alien figures, and like, they just get better every time I will pick one up. But I love their slasher stuff too. Like, I love like the like Halloween and Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. I love those movies, like the 80s versions.
Yeah.
And their cloth, they have some cloth goods deluxe figures, and those are fantastic, dude. Those are
Yeah.
great.
The last horror one that I picked up, well, one of the last ones was Ghostface
Yeah,
from the Scream movies, and that's a really the amount of stuff it comes with
yeah,
but just the posability you can get that figure in is amazing.
yeah,
So and
yeah,
it really kind of brought back some memories for me because I had a lot of the movie Maniacs growing up
yeah.
from
I remember
McFarlane,
those. Yeah,
and I'm like, I mean, those were figures, but statues.
yeah,
Um, so having them, better articulation with in this day and age, like I'm like, this is what my shelf looked like when I was in my teenage years,
hmm
So
yeah.
like
Nick has come a long way for sure.
oh yeah, and to share that with my son because he has that like I don't want to say a love for horror, but he's only seen one horror movie. His mom and I have, like said because she likes it too. So we're like, yeah. So this past year he watched the first Scream movie,
Hmm
and he said he liked it. He said I wasn't scared, Dad. I wasn't scared. Um, so it's been fun to see that kind of progress in him too. So,
hmm
but again, it's a lot of stuff that I had when I was younger, but in today's better articulated world.
Yeah, I think
So
nostalgia plays a huge part in what we buy or what we start looking for. Like I can walk by all kinds of figures that I'm not really paying attention, but whoa, I see, bless you, like, you see that, Friday the 13th, cool figure. And it's like, okay, wait a minute, let me stop. Or my Bloody Valentine, figure, or, Jason Voorhees, or Michael Myers, or, Gremlins or something. It's like, wait a minute, let me check out this. These figures are looking amazing.
yeah,
So that nostalgia will definitely attract us, old time, older collectors and stuff, because the stuff is
absolutely.
just so cool. And like you said, the articulation, like NECA, has gotten so much better, um,
Yeah,
in their stuff. So I think we're getting more and more spoiled with what we expect, like you said, accessories and articulation and stuff.
yep,
Because we weren't like that when we were younger. It's like I
no,
didn't notice that Lionel's legs didn't bend, or he didn't have like a swivel, or butterfly joints or anything like that, and we were okay with that.
yeah,
But now that these companies see that we kind of want more, and they're providing it, they're listening to us.
absolutely. Yep.
So I definitely
So
appreciate that.
while we are doing that, my one of my best friends from high school, he has nonstop collected since high school days. So his toy room
I
absolutely
was gonna
huge.
ask, is it crazy?
Um, oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
So we'd go over to his house and look at his stuff, and my son would get ideas and be like, "Oh, I want this one and this one and this one." And one day we went over there, and there's this giant box, like a giant cardboard box, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And he goes, "Oh, that's something I've been waiting 2 years for." And at the time, I mean, I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
On the side, he still has the box. It says "Advent of Decay,"
Sweet.
and I'm like, "What is this line?" Like, at the time, you know, I mean, I'm at the time my son was 6, I think 7, um, and we were just like I said, buying Marvel Legends, Black Series,
Hmm
McFarlane stuff. I think McFarlane was a little later, but um, he was talking to me about this like line. It's all like medieval sorcerers and all that kind of thing. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And he pulled some out, and I'm like, these are really they're really cool. And he was talking to me about like the price and what they do, like the pop and swap and stuff. And
hmm
I'm like, these are really cool. I can't afford it.
hmm
Um, and since or every time we went over there, he would always have like one of those figures out that he was playing with. Her. He's like, "Yeah, just open this one up," and the skeleton builder
hmm
or stuff like that. And then he's like, "You should really get into it." I said, I
He's
can't do
enabling you,
that
man.
yet. he was begging me.
He's luring you in, man.
And then I had this like kick. It was right around the time I started making the fountains,
Mhm,
and I did some customs of some of the killers from that Dead by Daylight game, and I
mhm.
was trying to figure out how to do this Oni character that they have, and I saw one of the ogre scale figures. I'm like, that might that might be something I need. So I was talking to him about it, talking to him like for months, and we went to one of the local shows with the Byron Center Rec show,
Mhm.
um, and
That's a
just
fun little show.
oh yeah, and it's free, and
Yeah, you can't beat that.
yeah, it's amazing. They got cosplay, they got everything there.
Yeah.
Um, so I ended up getting one of those from a buddy who now is a buddy, Brett,
Oh
and
yeah, Brett.
yeah, and um, that kind of started it, and then COVID happened, and it I bought my first four from Big Bad Toy Store,
Mhm.
and that was kind of my start of Mythics anyway.
Do you remember the first four that you picked up?
Uh, what were they? I want to say it was Thistlethorn, Phelan,
Mm. My number two favorite.
um,
I know she's one of your favorites too.
yeah. Um, oh, what were the other two?
I put you on the spot, man. Sorry
You
about
did.
that.
No, no, you're good. Um,
It'll come back to you. It'll come back to you.
yeah. But those first four, and I was like, holy crap, these are really cool. Why is that popping up? Do you see that?
I think it's your
Oh, it's my
thumb.
thumb.
Yeah. And then
Oops.
when you do it, it doesn't do it. It just
Yeah.
you're
Anyway,
gonna be like,
um, no, it was it. I bought those, and I'm like, dude, these in hand are amazing, and
it's true. Because I think the
it's a
price
rabbit.
for me,
It's a rabbit hole, man.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Because my friend had been trying to get like your friend, my friend DC had been trying to get me just because it wasn't like um, you know, uh a bad thing. It was just, he just
oh
wanted
no,
to share something that he was into. And so,
right.
oh, you should order these. And, there's a new pre-order coming out. And like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was like, $50 for a figure. I'm like, or, I didn't know how much they cost at the time, but I was like about $50. And I'm like, I could get two Marvel Legends for that. I'm kind of focused on that and Black Series. So, but after a while, it seemed like the quality was just okay. And, I'm like, maybe I'll try, so then I started buying like more premium figures like Mafex, Fig Arts, and then I started buying Hot Toys.
Oof,
And, so it's like that argument of not being able to afford, Mythics. It's
$40
like,
figure.
if I can afford these freaking, 200 and something dollar figures, then why can't I, so I started to check out the Mythics, and just the quality and all the accessories and stuff that they come with is just, and oh, sorry Peter Parker, the sculpting, you know
Yeah,
the sculpts on these Mythics are amazing. So once you bought
insane.
those four, so did you bought the troll first?
Actually, it was an ogre scale. Sorry, did I
Ogre,
say troll?
sorry.
Sorry. No, it was an ogre scale. It was a ogre scale brute, or the builder.
Hmm.
Um, and then, funny enough, I didn't even use that for the final custom that I made.
Yeah,
I actually used an Archimedes.
yeah. The
So,
Archimedes is a cool figure.
yeah, and then that actually it's the original ogre. Yeah, that original ogre that I bought, my son customized. So
So he's
he,
into customizing.
yep,
Yeah, mine
yep.
mine is too. He loves customizing. Like he would have a box underneath his bed of all these like crazy like Toy Story figures that he would like build, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? But what was cool about this was he would like sew like clothes for them. Like
Okay.
I don't know how to sew stuff. My ex-wife didn't know how to sew, but like he would just figure it out. Like he would get fabric and just like cut it and get thread from his grandma and just start like making like clothes and capes and stuff for his. I'm like, that's pretty damn cool, like
Yeah.
using your imagination and creativity to customize. That's just another cool facet of Mythics, that the
Oh yeah.
ability to completely customize these figures, like the stuff that Emil Wickman does with these figures, like these tributes that he makes. It's like, how do
Yeah.
you even come up with, Super
Like,
Mario Brothers from or Doctor Doom,
did
or
you
Noah
see the video
Pratt's?
he made on how he did Ahsoka?
Yes, yeah, he
Oh my,
used
you I would have never thought of that.
the blue demon or the yellow demon, um,
Yeah.
cut his head and put it on. I'm like,
Right.
I, I mean, how do you, I don't even know. That's why he's Emil and I'm not. So, but it's just a genius.
Yeah.
Just, but like I'm so interested in seeing people's creativity in this line. Like
It's
I'm
never.
not like I'm happy buying the figures and looking at them and putting on my shelf. And I do have like one or two custom ideas where it's like, maybe I will try that, and then maybe I will pop and swap, but I'm just happy. But I love to see other people's, I
Yeah.
it's and it never ends. That's why I love the Cabal. Um, just seeing people's, creations that they come up with, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
And in that, like seeing that gets your creative juices going,
Yes,
and then you post it, and then that's going to get somebody else's creative juices
yes,
going. So it's just a never-ending circle.
yeah, and it's cool too because there's so many different um outlets, that kind of surround or satellite around Mythics. There's the 3D parts, the photography, the pop and swap, there's accessories, and that brings me to you. You've been doing these cool, let me pop up one or two here. You've been doing these cool fountains that you've been
Yeah.
making here. If I can ever find the slides. Where's my slides at? There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Um, Here's one that Alexander has done here. Now, my question, okay, first off, I've never seen anyone do a diorama of a fountain. Like I've never seen that before. So I
Uh,
give you props, maybe I've not been around, but that is like super creative, dude, that you are making these fountains. So what kind of drew you to become the fountain man?
Um, you'll hear me talk about this guy a lot. My best friend Alex, his name's Alex as well. But he's the one that got me into Mythics. Um, we were just talking about our shelves and our
Mhm,
displays, and like, there's got to be like a way to make stuff. And I just started getting into like I just started finding out about the foam board,
mhm,
and people actually use that to make like thrones and stuff.
mhm,
And one of my first things that I made out of foam was a uh, Black Panther throne, just to see if I could make something.
mhm.
And um, made that, and then him and I started just like throwing ideas out. I said, you know what would be really cool? A fountain. And he goes,
Alex is
how
like,
would you make
yeah,
that?
a fountain. Like, where did that come from, dude?
I just it I
It's
just
random.
randomly looking at stuff, and my YouTube algorithm is kind of all over the place, and it has a
I can
bunch of creative
imagine.
stuff in it. And I found, God, who was it? It was either, I think it was a guy named Broken Terrain, and he had
Mhm,
a fountain video, but he makes all stuff for like the 35 millimeter 50 whatever the like actual miniatures.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I could I could totally make that into 12-inch scale or 1/12
Hmm.
scale. And he's like, yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. It's just measurements. I said, yeah. So I made two, and I was showing him, and we were like seeing how they scale and stuff, and I was like, these are actually kind of cool. And he goes, yeah. If you ever, would you want to make more or like sell them or something? I was like, maybe. I don't know. This is my first time doing it, so we were talking more about um, some other designs, maybe
Hmm.
what I could tweak, what could I use for water, um, and I made three more, and we did a couple shows. We did like the homeschool building show that you're probably
Hmm.
aware of, and we went. He had me come out to MesquiCon 4 years ago,
Hmm.
and I had five. Four of them sold before the show even started.
I'm telling you, dude.
The last one sold within the first hour. The first four were friends in the toy group
Yeah.
here in Michigan, um, and then someone had said, "Oh yeah, Nate's gonna come up, talk about Nate Strong," and
He's one of my
they were
favorite people.
talking.
That dude
Oh,
is
he's an amazing human. He's
sweetheart.
he's so awesome. And he got there, and people are telling me he's looking for you. He wants a fountain. He wants a fountain. He wants a fountain.
When was this? Was this last
It was
year?
nope. This was, I would say, 2022,
Okay.
maybe 2021,
Yeah. Because
somewhere around there.
I was at the last must not this last one, but the one before that. I was there and I
Yeah.
was just blown away. And I thought you were you there at that one?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember seeing your fountains in the cabal and stuff back then. And that it blew me away. Like I was not like dioramas was not really in my peripheral. Like I was not really thinking about that because I wasn't really thinking about photography. I was just at the moment just kind of like sensory overloading on all these amazing new figures that I'd never seen before. So I was
Yeah.
just kind of like focusing on collecting. But I remember seeing like pictures of dioramas and your fountains and stuff. And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, now these are freaking cool because everyone has seen dioramas, but like to make something realistic like a fountain with a water is just I don't know. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was probably about almost a year, maybe 6 months to a year in the making. And
Hmm.
I just didn't know. I was, you don't even know how many text messages I sent to Alex saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm freaking out. I don't know how I'm
Well, I
gonna do it.
mean, there's not really I mean, not probably not a lot of YouTube videos on instruction on how to make the fountains. It was kind of
Not
like
really.
you kind of maybe tapped into something that people didn't know that they needed or wanted until they actually see it and it's like, "Oh shit, this is super damn cool." You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It was it. I was blown away by the reception of those
Mhm.
five.
Plus they
One
look
of the
good,
guys.
dude.
Well,
Plus
thanks.
they look good. If they didn't look good, I'd be like, you know, but
I'd be
yeah,
doing the same thing.
they look great. They look great, man.
I remember that night after the show, one of the guys that bought it said, "Are you ready? Because you're about to get blown up." And sure enough, they started posting it Saturday night, Sunday morning, and I got so many messages
Mhm.
saying, "Hey, where are you going to be at next? Do you have, this? I'm looking for this." And
Mhm.
that summer was crazy. I think I made about 100 fountains, and I brought them to Legion's Con. I mean, I didn't even think I'd get into Legion's Con at
Mhm.
that point. I'd heard about it. I'd watched the previous year's G-Con.
Mhm.
Um, And I reached out to Jeremy and I said, "Hey, I know it's a long shot. It's, April, May or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, if there's a spot open, I'd like to, try to get a table." And within 2 days, he's like, "Yeah, it's booked right now, but let me get a hold of you if anything opens up."
Hmm.
2 days later, I had a table and I started going in on it.
That
Um,
was 22.
22, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Um, like I said, I think I think I actually brought like 85 fountains to the first Legion's Con I was at.
85.
Yep. And over half of that didn't even make it out to the display because I had one table still that last year, but there's not that much room on
Yeah.
a 6 foot table, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, I sold quite a few. Um, I brought a little over half home, and but yeah, I didn't get all of them out. So like last year, I still had some stock from the first year, but I
Hmm.
also had made some improvements on them. Added some lights, and I started making some stables and some wells, and it the I don't know, man. It's crazy how everything's fallen into place, and
Yeah. So
so
is that like a full-time thing for you? Like, are you just doing that, or do you
which
work also?
I work
You wish,
also.
yeah.
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 Yep.
But it's got to
So
help. I mean, it's got to be.
oh yeah.
I mean, is it worth it for you to make them? Is it worth your time to invest in?
Yeah. I mean, it pays for a lot of the toys I buy. So
You
and
can't beat that, dude.
nope.
You know, it makes
And
it easier.
yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I last year I did a lot of bartering with them and
Yeah.
did a lot of trades, and so it was it's been a lot of fun to see people's reactions to the new stuff. Um, I have a few this year that I'm still working on, um, that I'm excited to show off and see what people do.
I look
Um,
forward to it. I look forward to
and
that.
then I think the pinnacle, like the top so far, is having Nate and Trevor use the fountains in one of their pictures.
Dude, that I mean,
It's
in this,
beyond.
yes, I was gonna say in this, like, this world that we're fans of or that we're part of, like, what honestly, what's better? What would be better than that for you?
Right.
Like,
I I don't know. To be
yeah,
honest with you, I
yeah.
just
I mean, there's nothing, there's no better compliment, I think, than having, Trevor use your stuff in his photography. That's freaking,
yeah. Yeah, he reached out to me before he posted that and said, "Dude, I'm posting this." I said, "Oh shit, really?"
yeah,
I
definitely.
probably could have cried,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it was
that's high honor, dude. But
yeah,
take credit, I mean, if, like I said, if you made crap, then that wouldn't have happened. So,
right,
you're making some beautiful work, and it's being
thank you,
recognized. So that's got to be, gratifying for you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It validates me for sure.
You're an
So,
artisan, man.
trying, try my
Yeah.
hardest.
But I think that's cool. Like I had mentioned it before about how this line, it kind of, it inspires creativity, you know. Just the figures are cool, but like there's a whole industry around this toy line, you know,
Yeah.
of, what can I make? What does this line need? What
Yep.
would be cool, to see? Like these fountains, a diorama is cool, but you put a fountain in that diorama and you've got something, it really punches it up. It really makes that diorama, really amazing.
Right. Yeah. And that was one of the things I kind of was going for when I made them. Like I was like, I don't want to have to like, not really like sell, but like I don't want to make something super big and have people
Mhm.
like not be able to like lug it around. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I have a couple bigger fountains, but the 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 normal size, I guess you call it, can fit on a shelf,
Yeah.
and it's just there in the background. It accents the figures. So
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
it
It lends so much. Like these figures are great for photography. Like, I mean, we've all seen Trevor's, photography and people in the Cabal, like some of the shots that they do are amazing. But I think when you add, these cool looking dioramas and things like your fountains and these other things that people are making. Chris Ferrone does these weapons racks and
yeah
different things like that. There's it adds more to your collection, to your display. um it just makes it even more special, even more
yeah
amazing. So
I
that's
100%
cool. That's
agree.
cool that you just decided, oh yeah, I'm gonna make fountains. That's
Yeah.
pretty
It,
cool, man.
it was just a conversation between two friends, collectors, love of the line,
Yeah.
and it was just like, yeah, I think I might do this. Okay, let's
So
see how that works out.
does the other Alex, does he do any kind of creative thing like that too, or does he make anything, or?
Yep. He does a lot of his own diorama stuff.
Mhm.
Um, it it takes him a little longer, um, just because he um, does it on his spare time, just like me.
Mhm.
But he's got like a lot of big ideas,
Mhm.
so his progress is a little slower just because he wants to get it right. And
Yeah,
um,
I respect that.
yeah,
It matters, he's
yeah,
when he's done, he's done. So
yep.
yeah, I respect that.
So yep. It
Yeah, that's cool.
and he obviously he's been one of my biggest supporters. Um, I think he's got 4, 5, 6 of my fountains.
Mhm.
Um, I made him um, a like larger diorama piece. It was modeled after the Doc Ock lab from
Mhm.
Spider-Man 2, or I guess it was inspired. Um, but he's got that in his display as well. So I mean, like we work on stuff together, but I also, friends for 30 some years. I mean, you gotta, it's bound to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
Yeah, when I think of fountains, like I think of there's this scene in Conan the Barbarian where I don't know if you'd seen it, but he was getting roughed up after he had tried to infiltrate into Thulsa Doom's
oh yeah,
cult,
yeah,
and they'd kind of roughed him up next to a fountain, and he's kind of laying on the fountain. So that's what I think of. And I don't know,
yeah,
I just think that's a cool scene. That might be something to be cool to reenact or something, or have a diorama of that.
absolutely,
But
yeah.
I don't want to take up too much of more of your time. We've been chatting for an hour.
Oh, you're good.
um I love seeing your stuff though, man. I think you're definitely onto something, and I look forward to seeing your stuff you're going to Legion's Con, right?
Oh yeah, we'll be there this year. So
Awesome, awesome,
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, my girlfriend, she's kind of been inspired by dioramas and Darla's capes and stuff like that.
Oh,
Speaking of
nice.
Darla's capes, thank you very much again. I meant to tell you thank you again for picking up those capes for me from
Pleasure's all mine, sir.
Darla's table, Curtis and Darla's table, where she makes these amazing capes. And
But,
I was still working in Vermont, so I was so crushed. I wanted to go to MuskyCon because that's the biggest thing in our area, so I
oh
wanted
yeah,
to go check that
and
out. But
dude, I don't mean to like rub this in your face if you want to call that, but MesquiCon was such an amazing time with the Mythic meetup.
mhm,
I mean,
I
we
wanted to go bad, dude.
I
I
was
wanted
sitting
to
at a
go.
table, and Jeremy Gerard just comes over and starts talking, and then next thing I know, Jim Perozzi's sitting right next to him, in between Jeremy and I. And he's like, "Have you tried one of these pretzels? These pretzels are amazing." Because they had like a pretzel bar in the
Mm,
Mythic meetup,
yeah,
and we sat there talked for like a good 45 minutes, just
yeah.
just
They're also
shooting
personable.
the
They're
breeze.
so
Yeah, it's so amazing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was a good idea. Who's that? Pete McCarthy that
Yep.
that threw that was awesome. If I knew that I could get away without being fired, I would have done it. I just was not sure if
Yeah.
if I would have been unemployed when I got back from to Vermont. So I was like, I almost did though, because my buddy Brett Stoddard was
Oh yeah,
going.
I know, Brett.
He lives in I think the Pennsylvania area,
Yeah.
and he was going to pick up Jesse Arnold, and they were going to road trip. I'm like, Brett and Jesse, like this sounds like a great, you know, but I think I was like 5 hours away from them,
Oh,
and he
okay.
wanted to leave at like 4 in the morning. So I would
Ooh,
have to leave at like,
11.
yeah, I would have to leave work. So I would have missed Thursday night, and then I would have missed Friday night, and then come back, Sunday. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. But yeah, I was bummed out. I wanted to go so bad. I had a ride. I had a ride there, but
You had everything lined up,
yeah, I just didn't want to get fired. So I was like, I don't
yeah,
know, man.
right?
But yeah, next year for sure. I will not
Yeah.
miss next year. Some
Are you going to Legion's Con?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
got I got picked for intern this year, so
Oh, you're gonna love it.
I'm I'm so stoked, dude.
Oh,
Like
it's so amazing.
Jeremy sent me a message, was it a Thursday or Friday? And he's like, "Hey, check your email." And just that he sent me a message, I was just like, "Whoa." Like I
Right?
mean, yeah, if we're all friends, we can, message, but I respect him and the guys so much, I'm not gonna, bug them on Messenger or anything. If
Yeah,
I need to ask Jeremy something, I'll email him or whatever. But like, hey, check your email, and I'm like, oh
yeah,
crap. And I'm like, I got picked for intern. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So I was
yeah.
just like, I was in
So
a I was in a daze.
yeah, it. I know the exact feeling. The year that I went to my first Legion's Con, which is the one I sold at,
Hmm.
um, I got chosen to be intern. So like my first year, my first like introduction to like the big chaos was the 4 days of nonstop
Yeah,
legions, 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 and
I can't
you,
imagine.
it's walking in that
Now,
studio is
I know it
magical.
was exciting. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm so excited about, is to just be there and just soak up the awesomeness. I just want to look at the wall of, all the figures. I want to see, the where, Eric is, teaching you what he does or whatever. I just want to just be there, and I want to see Chris in the toga. I
Oh
just want
yeah,
to see all the crazy. But I'm dude, I'm so excited. But it was weird for me though. I felt guilty, like I felt like I was lucky, but like I felt bad that other people didn't get chosen. You know what I mean? So it's like I didn't make a post like I'm intern, you know what I mean? I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to rub it in
yeah,
people's faces. I just told a few close friends, and I didn't really, make a big, but internally I was just like, oh my God, I told my girlfriend, and I still don't think that she gets it. Like, I don't think she like fully grasps, you know,
yeah,
that, and what, I mean, she's slowly, I think, seeing like what a big deal this line is to me. But
yeah,
she's like, why do you have a shirt of yourself, of your name? And that's not even your name. Why do you have Schmerbenbergen Bourbon Burger on your, and I'm like, I can't explain it. I can't explain.
yeah.
But
So my girlfriend went with me to intern,
mhm,
um, and we got there, and she she understands what the line is, the 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 I don't know what you call that, the atmosphere
yeah,
of the line of collecting. Um, so we walk into the doors at the studio. They bring us to the break room, and we're sitting there in the doorway, and this guy comes up and talks to us for, I don't know, a good 10, 15, 20 minutes. And she goes, he's really nice. Did you know him? I'm like, I just know of him. It was Eric Treadway.
Wow.
Like he just comes up and just casually talks to you, and she goes, "He's like the head guy, right?" I'm like, "He's one of the horsemen, yeah."
Yeah.
And
You
I'm
don't
like,
get more header than that.
right, and like
He's
you
the
don't see that
creator.
in any other company. Like
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they're all like that too. It's amazing. You're gonna
Yeah.
have a blast, and I can't wait to give you a hug after you go to intern.
Thank you. I can't wait for that. Yeah, I'm just beyond excited, and this year and to be picked for this year, which is like their anniversary year and stuff,
Yeah,
like
so you'll probably see some stuff that we won't see
my eyes are
for a
gonna be
while.
like everywhere. I'm gonna be like, but
Yeah.
yeah, dude, I'm
So I
so
think
excited, dude.
so.
But
You're going to Legion's Con. I think isn't our friend Gavin going?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
I think I don't remember his name. Someone else got picked, and he's a customer of Gavin. Gavin owns
Oh,
Tardy's
Kirby.
for people. Yes, for people that are watching. My buddy Gavin, our buddy Gavin
Oh, buddy, yeah.
owns Tardy's, was just one of the best shops. And Gavin's just a heart of gold. He's just like
Yeah.
a long bearded teddy bear.
He is. He's one of the
Such a
best
sweet
guys.
guy. Yeah,
And
super sweet guy.
it was funny the day that we met, I was picking up um, boxes from him,
Okay.
and because you and I met back in February,
Yeah.
and I'd seen your name around the Cabal for I don't know 4 or 5 months before that, maybe even
Mhm.
6 months or so, and you guys were talking, and I was waiting to say bye to Gavin, and he introduced us. I'm like, "You're sure Murmur Burger,"
Schmurmers,
and
schmurmers.
and you're like, "Yeah, that's me." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god!" And I
Yeah,
introduced
I
myself,
recognized
and
you right away, but I didn't want to interrupt, I didn't want to
yeah,
interrupt you guys, but it's so
and
surreal sometimes to see people that but you haven't really met them
right,
yet officially. Like you haven't met them in person. It's like, oh,
yeah,
they're taller than I realized, or they're
or they're
short little
shorter, or
like
they're
Will White.
balder.
Will White is just a tiny little man. Billy Beige is this little guy, and
Yeah,
it's, it's kind of
it's
adorable.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so like take that. I mean, you've been to obviously other Legions Con, but
Mm.
like it that weekend is just it's like that moment over and over and over and over again. It's amazing,
I can't
and
wait.
it's
Yeah, that and G-Con, and like
I'm nervous.
I didn't know about G-Con. Like I came last year. I didn't know that we could just stroll in
Yeah,
and be in the room. I didn't know that that was a thing. So like I think I booked a room on in New Jersey, like not that far away, for I think Thursday or Friday, because
okay,
I think my room was for Saturday, Sunday. I think it's just Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, so I didn't know. So now I know. I'm like, I'm gonna be there for G-Con. I'm gonna see all this cool stuff. But then I'm gonna be intern on Thursday. So
yeah, it's
it's
gonna be a
just
busy 4 days for you.
so much fun, dude. So do
Yeah,
you feel like um when you were intern, did you feel like was it more stressful because you had to go and sell stuff? Because I always wonder that, like, I know it's probably lucrative to sell at Legion's Con, but like, do you feel like you miss stuff because you're behind a table for the whole time? Is it
yes.
like stress?
It's not really stress. It's more of like I don't want to say regret either, because selling is quite amazing at Legion's Con.
Yeah.
Um, it's more of all right. Like last year, I was next to my wife is going to kill me, guys.
Hmm.
The year before, I was next to Emil,
Hmm.
and then my wife is going to kill me, guys are right next to them, and I'm pretty close with the podcast guys.
Hmm.
But being next to Emil, that dude is again one of the best dudes you can ever
He's
talk to.
so damn nice
Him and Tomas, I mean, it's amazing. Like I
and
um
humble. He's
oh,
so humble.
extremely. When they walked in to the first year that I went, which was 2022, um, They strolled in with the podcast guys, and I'm in the lobby talking to a couple other people. And Tomas comes in and he just yells, Alexander! And like we just embraced each other. I was just
Yeah.
like, I, I've never really like talked to this guy face to face. And
Yeah.
here he
But
is.
that
He's
love and
in
friendship.
Sweden. He's, across the pond, just comes in and just hugs and just, it's like a family reunion that you
Yeah.
don't know. You've never quite seen people before.
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's what
It's
I love
insane.
about this community though too. It's like I've told it a few times that like last year when I was at Legion's Con, like I had been in the community and been in the cabal for a while. So like I knew who people were, but had never met them.
Yeah.
So like I'm standing in line and Jordan Frazier and Van walk by and I'm like, I know who they are, or Emil comes in and he's telling stories and he's got a wig on and he's being like life of the party
Hmm.
and it's like I know who these guys are, but I've never really actually I've never met them at all. So just
Yeah.
to be there and, some of these guys to me are like rock stars, like I'm like, there's Eric
Yeah.
Treadway. I've met him. I met Eric like a couple times and chatted with him a couple times, but I'm like, every time I see him, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like a
Yeah.
fan, like Emil, on the Customizer Studio, which everyone needs to check out. It's a super fun, um, thing where people kind of do what they want and they have
Kind of
I'm not telling
community.
you, I'm telling people that don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Customizer Studio, it's put on by Curtis Ackerman and sponsored by Wolf King Customs, but it's basically you just need your phone and something to do. People paint, people talk, pop and swap, customize, and just hang out and be friends.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Emil, he usually is on there every Sunday, and he was telling, I think I was just kind of picking his brain. I was being new to Mythics and asking him like, what was your first Mythic, and what's your favorite figure and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, I wasn't able to get very many, but I always loved Chronow and Light. I was like, how come I don't have Chronow? Like, I think that I loved Trapjaw as a kid. How come
Yeah.
I never bought him? It was just a figure that I had forgotten about. And he's like, yeah, I bought like 5 or 6 of him. And because I liked him so much and they're hard to get. And so I sent him a message like that next day or something. I'm like, hey, Emil, sorry to bother you. My name is Greg. He's like, yeah, I know who you are. And, we've talked. I've met you at Legion's Con. And I said, hey, this was like, this is a couple months ago. And I said, hey, you said that you had a couple of Chronows. I would love to buy one from you. And he's like, you want me to ship it from? I go, yeah, dude, I'll pay for the shipping. I'll buy the figure from you, whatever. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I no problem. And I said, I go, one more thing. I go, could you autograph it? And he's like, why? Why would you want my? I'm like, because I'm a fan. Because A, you're a great dude, and B, you make these amazing customs. And like in this community, you're in to me, you're a rock star. Like you're one of the nicest, greatest dudes, and you make amazing customs, and
Yeah.
everybody knows you and respects you and loves you. Like I'm a fan. So sign that damn figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I hate to mess up the front of this figure with my ugly signature. I'm like, just sign it, dude. I'm not gonna open it. I'm gonna display it. And
Yeah.
thank you. So I have it. I have it kind of wrapped in plastic and stuff. But
Oh, that's cool.
just a fan. There's
Yeah.
so many awesome dudes, original, great people in this community. And
Yep.
I love having a small part or just being a small character in a large, you know, realm of
Yeah.
just cool, original, good-hearted people. Just to be
Yep.
part of that is priceless to me.
Absolutely. Um,
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the other question you had, which was, is it difficult being behind the table at Legion's Con? The only hard part is you can be like, all right, I'm gonna go take a lap, and it doesn't matter how many laps you take, you're gonna miss something
Hmm.
because you're just kind of like you want to be you want to see everyone's stuff, but you also want to get back to your table.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a ton of people,
oh,
and
a
there's
ton.
stuff going, there's things moving, there's things being exchanged, and all
Yeah.
kinds of, noises, and just so much going on.
Yep. So I mean, it's definitely an experience, um, being a vendor at Legion's Con.
Hmm. So do you
Um,
think there'll ever be a time when you don't, when you're like, I'm gonna take a year off, and
Maybe
or
we'll
is it
see.
too lucrative to, like, he's like, no, I gotta go.
I,
It's too good to.
I'm not gonna lie. I do like the money, the income that table brings in. Um,
Yeah. I mean, don't
but
be ashamed of that, dude. That's I don't blame you. I would do the same thing,
yeah,
you
I
know.
mean, I don't know. We'll see. That day ever came, I might take a year off, but still bring some
Yeah.
to barter with. I don't know. We'll see.
What you do
So
is when your son becomes old enough, then you'd be like, son, man the table. I'm going to rub
he
elbows.
he wants to go this year,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, you go to a 1 day show with me and you're bored halfway through. This is a 2 day show.
Yeah.
And it's a little longer than that because we go to G-Con on Friday because we
Hmm.
get in Thursday night and we're there to set up Friday night
Yeah.
and do all the thing, you know. So
Yeah. And I don't
he,
really go anywhere. Like, pretty much, maybe
yeah,
for food. I think we got some Chinese one night, and then we went to Wegmans.
okay,
Um, but I stayed at the hotel, dude. Like, I
yeah,
was happy, rubbing elbows and talking, telling stories, and just
yeah.
being with that,
We did a
community.
lot of Grubhub.
Yeah.
Sunday night. I mean, it's only the second year, but and it was a different location. But we went to I think it was called like Johnny B's or something like that
Hmm.
afterwards, just to kind of like celebrate. And we had like a smorgasbord of food. So
Mm,
um, that was pretty good too.
that
So
sounds good.
yeah, yeah. So do you want to talk about the lady that's behind us
Let's
right
do
here?
it, man.
Oh my God,
The lady,
how? I mean, that's our favorite figure of the line, right?
our favorite figure.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm in love with that figure. The first version is my favorite. I've
yeah.
my
But
friends, but
we both bought the soft goods from Max Bird,
mhm.
which basically makes her this.
Yes, yeah, I know. When I saw this, I was like, I have this. Like,
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I
yeah,
have this thing.
yeah, I have this. I mean, I I honestly, like, I mean, Max Bird is amazing,
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm gonna say the C. Jessam. I mean, look at the textures. I think I have some slides of her. Of course I do. Of course I do.
of course you got Azza.
Um, I think that there's some textures on her inner. Um, let's see
On
here.
the inside of the cape.
Yeah, it looks like some texture, or maybe
Okay.
is it different? Maybe it's like a little shinier, a little silkier
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
the inside inner garments.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
maybe, maybe, or maybe it's the same. I don't know. I'm going to email Jeremy and ask. I had I had geeked out so hard. I had sent him an email and said, Jeremy, for people that don't know, Jeremy is the director of marketing for Mythic Legions. For those that are new to Mythics, he is um, big boss in my mind, mastermind. Eric's the creator, but I think Jeremy does like all the planning and the surprises and the sales and how long they last and all that stuff. I think that's his baby. But I emailed him and I'm like, dude, I'm dying. I was at work and I was in my department. I work in a hospital,
Okay.
and I'll have to send you the picture because I took a picture of me and my reaction as I was watching the show, And my friends who know me were like, dude, are you dying right now? I'm like, dude, I am freaking dying right now. Like I was hoping so hard that one of the reveals was going to be Azza. And he said, and our next, reveal number 7 is, a necromancer that, and I was just like, is it? And I was like, maybe it's going to be Hera. Maybe it's going to be, and then I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But, and I emailed Jeremy and I'm like, dude, I was dying.
So good.
And he's like, I know that he goes, I know that's your favorite figure. And I was excited to see what your reaction would be. And so I sent him a picture of, I was just like, and I've got this dumb, I got scrubs on and like a hair thing because I'm in the sterile department. I was just like, oh my God. But so happy, dude.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. So here's the question, my man. How many are you buying? Don't tell me one, dude. Don't tell me one. One is not enough, man.
My wallet wants one.
Your wallet's like one and done.
I could
okay,
see
let me ask this. Let me ask you this.
4?
Yes, that 4 is the right answer. Let me ask you this. How many Azas do you have right now?
I only have one, but that is only because I found her. She was a Grail figure for me for the longest time, and I found
remember
at Legion's Con last year from our good friend Ariel.
Yes, I love that dude.
He was right next to me at the first Legion's Con.
Mm-hmm.
He was across from me this past year, and he's a good dude too.
That dude is awesome. I give him shit though because the mystery boxes. This guy was like Johnny on the spot. Like whenever someone would post that they were selling or wanted to trade their Zarya, their Snag, their Calavius, he was like, boom, I'll take it. PM, DM, I'm there. And like every time I'm like, oh, I'm looking for a Zarya. Boom, he had me beat. I'm like, you bastard, dude. You But the nicest guy, like he sold me one of the Zarya. I was looking for a Zarya and he sold her to me. And then I ended up trading my buddy Terrence for one. And then I think I got one from somebody else. So I ended up with like 4 Zaryas. But I'm like, that's all right. It's cool to have extras. But I think since I started collecting, I think I got like 5 Azas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't have that many more. I traded one to my buddy Jordan, the PGG. And I traded one to Dr. Brent. Because like if these guys are asking for an Azza and I have extras, if they're bros, I'll send it to you. Yeah. If I've got some and you don't have any, I got you, man. But but my stocks are depleted, man. I think I've got 2 right now. I just saw Timothy Fung's got a post for 1 for 120, and I was just like, I can't come up with that 120. Huh?
Not a bad price.
No, it's a good price, man. It's doable.
About what I paid for mine.
Yeah, but this week is rough, man. I'm like, I can't come up with that, dude. I would like to, but I've got that hoarder collector brain where it's like I just want more. Like, and I know I'm not the only one because Dennis Derby was on. I don't remember what show it was. It was the Legion's Ladies. He was on there, and people were asking questions, and his favorite figure is Thalen. And I go, I'm like, Dennis, how many Thalens do you have? And he's like, I have 12 that are complete. And I'm like, I feel validated. So I'm not a weirdo that's got like a closet full of Azas. I'm not a weirdo, but maybe I am a weirdo, but yeah. But and my friend he drew my my logo. There's an Azza. He had put another figure in the logo picture. Another figure, and I'm like, I go, I appreciate it, Mark, but could you put Azza in my hand? And he's like, okay, I'll do that. So he put Azza, and I think that's Sir Gerard or Scapular. I'm not sure which one it is, but yeah, he did that for me. But yeah, dude, I I'm just so happy. That figure is just so unique. So how do you feel, since we're talking about Azza? How do you feel about the changes? Like I've heard some people complain that they wish that she had the metal chest piece instead of the leather. What's your feelings on that?
You can pop and swap. You know what I mean? Like if you don't like it, that's what this line is made for. You
Yeah.
know, like I like it. Um, she'll go next to the other one. I don't know
I
which
think
one will be my Azza, but it'll.
she's very similar. Like
Oh yeah,
I understand what people are saying. It's like if hey, I couldn't afford the original, so this version 2 is like a very close, so I don't think, and I'm not being negative. I mean, I love both versions, but I don't think version 2 is a huge departure from version 1. Um,
no, I don't
but
think
that's a
so.
good thing. I
But
mean, I
yeah,
mean, Artemis 1 and Artemis 2 were very different, I think.
yeah.
But I think this one is a little
I
more
like the
similar.
inclusion of the unhooded head. I know that it's not the same
Yes.
sculpt, but I really don't care. It
I don't
it
care either, dude.
it,
And
it
that's
looks good.
I sent Jeremy another email because he asked people in the cabal, what do you guys think, about this unhooded head? Should we not include it or something? I emailed him. I'm like, dude, do not take away that, because it's beautiful. I think Sherry painted it. Sherry's one of the painters. For people that don't know, she's one of the studio painters, and she
Um,
painted that Thrace head to be an Azza head, and I'm like, it's stunning. Like, maybe it's not exactly like the sculpted hooded head, but it's a beautiful head, and it's a beautiful paint job. So
yeah,
I'll take it. I don't care.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take it
It
for sure. For
I'm just excited.
$37, that's why
I'm,
you need four.
right. Right.
It's like, what am I gonna do with four? I don't know. You need
You
four.
need four of them. Shit.
I'm crazy though. Like I'll have one loose on the shelf, and then I'll have like a mint in box.
Mm.
I don't know why. Just
It,
I just do that. I just do that. That's just my crazy.
that's your collector code.
Collector
Everyone
code. I
everyone
like
has
that.
one.
Yeah. Do you have weird stuff like that with your collection, or am I
Um,
a weirdo?
I have I have to open everything.
Okay. You
I
do? You're
yeah
a mass opener.
yeah I have a few things that are in the boxes still. Um,
So what if you find something super rare? So what if, like, somebody was like, "Hey, I've got this Otho. I don't care about this line. You want it for like $80, and it's mint in box. Are you telling me you're going to open that?
um, this is gonna get a lot of hate, but I wouldn't want it. I'm
You
not a
wouldn't
big
buy it?
I wouldn't. I'm not a big Otho fan, to be
I mean,
honest with
just
you.
as an example. So, like, say
But
there's a rare
yeah,
figure. Would you open it just because you're an opener?
um, I probably would if it was my first one.
Yeah.
But if I had a chance to get another one, I'd probably keep it in the box.
I mean, these figures are so amazing that they should be opened. I'm not saying don't open your figures.
Right.
All Otho hate mail can be sent to this Instagram message right here. Um,
Be nice. Be
contact,
nice, people.
yeah, contact Alexander, not the host of this show. I do not condone his comments. I like Otho. I don't love Otho. I think
Mm.
it's an original head sculpt.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
cool,
the
but
it's one of the only head sculpts that we've gotten. I think that is the
yeah,
only head
but
sculpt that we've gotten in this line
700,
about that.
$800.
Like no.
No,
Um,
sorry, no.
Same thing with like Adamon.
Yeah,
Like I think he's cool.
it's a nice figure.
He's,
I mean, and
he's
you look at
not.
the stuff that he's like. You could rebuild him other than the head. You can make
Yeah.
an Otho, or an Adamon.
Right.
You can make you.
I do. I will say this: after the Blue Shield Soldier reveal, Otho, I don't want to say is more enticing,
Mhm.
but I think it makes him a little cooler in my book.
that was a good story. Like
Yeah,
that was like, okay, Jeremy, that was good, man. You
yeah,
got my attention, dude, for sure.
yep.
All that good stuff.
There's so much stuff in that.
And I'm a night guy. I love the nights. I'm a fan for sure.
Yeah,
I do kind of wish they would have thrown in the other chess piece, like the Valiant Knight chess piece. Because I think there's
yeah,
only one chess piece. I mean, I shouldn't complain because there's doubles of or triples of everything else. So of
yeah.
course, somebody's going to complain, but um, I think that it would be cool to have one more chess piece. Okay, sorry, I
Mhm.
said it. I said it. I
Well,
said
I
it.
think the Valiant Knight chess piece
Is
is
it
the base. Yeah, I think so.
okay? I don't have
Either
one
that or they
here
just
in
have the
in
same.
hand.
Do I? Well, where's mine? I don't know where mine's at. I just recently bought two new shelves, so I had to like take three shelves of stuff down, and I just kind of threw stuff onto empty shelving
Hmm.
units.
I did the
But
same thing. I've got a whole big shelf here. I don't want to turn my computer around because it'd turn off something, but it's a lot of unopened yet figures that are waiting to be. But I think they should be opened. I'm with you on that. That's why I try to buy like, I've got like an extra Gwendolyn, I've got an extra Hadriana, I've got an extra Faustia, just
yeah,
because I want to open them, but I also want to preserve that. Like my buddy, he bought a Ravina, and he's the one that got the Pixis also, and he's
okay.
like, this stuff is art, and I'm like, amen, brother. It is art,
Oh yeah,
but it's also beautiful to open and enjoy and
yep,
pose and play
absolutely.
with. Like you're missing out. Like I see some people that are only in box, and I'm like, dudes,
I don't.
you do you. You collect what you want.
That's their
You
collector
love it in
code.
your own. That's your collector code. I'm gonna start. I stole that from you just now. I'm stealing that. I will be like the collector code, and they're gonna be someone else gonna be like, dude, that's like, yeah.
Yeah,
I might give credit. I'm not sure. I might like you, so I
you
might,
can use it. You can.
but these figures are so beautiful,
Yeah,
and you miss the little amazing, I was just talking to Joe about, this figure is it's a builder, but like all the detail
yeah.
of the gold knight, like all the, it's just so rich with just, you know, the sculpting, and I don't know, you just
It's
miss
insane,
out if you don't open these guys up, man. They're
right?
just too damn cool.
That they
Anyway,
are.
man, I'm sorry. I've been talking your ear off. It's
No,
11:20. We've been
good.
jibber jabbing for an hour and a half.
You're good.
Um,
Can I show some in work
no,
fountains?
sorry.
Okay.
The show's
No,
over. Can't.
sounds good.
No, dude,
All right.
show us what you got, man. I'm here for the long
Um,
haul.
this
Please.
one I don't have the resin in yet, but this one will be um at Legion's Con this year.
Wow, dude,
I don't know if you can see the light on that, but
no, dude. I want that.
I'll be doing a couple of these, I think,
Yeah,
this
I
weekend.
want that. If I need to put it down a deposit, just just message me your PayPal. I
Yeah.
need that.
All right.
I'm serious, man.
All right.
I'm not being funny, dude. Like I'm in love. Like you got my number right there.
Oh yeah. All
That
right.
the
Sounds good.
tiles and the reflective, dude. Is there going to be water in it or no?
Yeah. This will be the spout, and it'll go down to here,
Okay.
and then it'll drip down into the
Okay. So
into
I'm
the.
seeing this show, like this show is not going to air for another like 4 weeks, 3 or 4
Okay.
weeks.
Okay.
So I've got a head start on everybody. Um
Sorry,
I
guys.
want one. I'm not kidding. I
Well,
want one.
I'll show you this other one too.
Okay. Just
Uh,
put a G on the bottom of that one.
just right on the bottom, a big old G.
Yes. Or a
Um,
put Schmerbenberger on the bottom of that.
so with the release of the last figure obscura,
Hmm.
I have this.
Wow, dude. You are an artisan, my man. You are an artisan. Damn. You better bring a bunch of those, dude. You better bring a bunch of those because they're gonna go hotcakes. I'm telling you.
I
I'm
think I
telling
might
you.
just make 5. I don't know. We'll
You
see.
think so? I think you
I
should
don't
make
know.
more,
We'll see.
dude.
We'll see.
You're
Should I show
being
you?
mean
Should
now.
I
You
show one
need to.
more?
Yeah, dude. Bust it. Let's see what you got, man. That one, I'm serious though, Alexander. I want that one that you just showed. I want that one.
I won't do that
So
one. I'll do this one.
I'm not
So
kidding.
this
I will put
one,
a deposit on that one.
I don't have any water in this one yet, but there's this. But this thing can come off. But there
That's
will
just
be water in
ridiculous,
here.
dude. Now,
Where is?
can I ask what you make these out of? Are they printed? Are they 3D printed? Are they foam?
Nope,
What are they made out of?
they are foam,
That's
like the
just
blue
insane.
or the green
Can I see
foam.
mine again? I need to see it again, dude. Because I
Absolutely.
send me some pictures, dude, please. I am in love with that. What is that? That's where the water comes out in the middle
This will
piece.
be. Yep.
I
Yep.
am in love with
It'll
that,
go
dude.
down into
I got to
this.
show
And
that to my
then,
girlfriend. That is just.
so, all right, I'll show
It's.
you. I'll show you this one too. I
Have you
wasn't
ever
gonna.
seen something that someone made and like you're like I think I can do, and then you see somebody else's and you're like I'm not even gonna try. Like that's just the best thing I've ever seen. I love that, dude. That
So
is
this
freaking
one
rad, man.
will have uh, a topper on there. I
Like
just don't know what to do with
plants
it.
or like is it ceramic that's gonna
Um,
be on there or because
no,
I could see like a bush or a shrub coming out of that or something.
let me. So this is going to be something new this year. This is. I don't even know if I should say it,
Is this
but
a scoop?
kind of. Um,
Well, you
there's going
gotta.
to
There's still
be.
a month before this comes out, so
Yeah. So what my plan is to have a bunch like these. These will have a magnet in them,
uh
and then I'll have a bunch of toppers on them that you
what
can
is
mix
that?
match.
Oh
This is just
yeah.
a little statuette thing,
Yeah. I see what you're
and
saying.
then
Yeah, so you can kind of customize how you want it to
customize
be.
whatever one you want it to be. Because
Don't break it.
I
Don't
also have
break
like
it.
this one,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
little statuettes that you can just
Yeah.
mix and match, and
Nice.
that's
I love that. I
sort of the
love that
plan.
backsplash. Whatever that is freaking amazing.
So this is not to give too many secrets away, but
No, I
uh,
don't want you to.
the
And if you want me to
the
edit out
tile.
some stuff, I can do
Oh,
that.
we're good. We're good.
Okay.
It's the tile pieces, and then I just put a little bit of resin on top
Just,
of it to
dude,
kind of give it that
it's
extra
gorgeous,
sheen.
man. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So
That
there's
one
that.
that you showed me, the Schmerber one, like you've got
This one's the
painted,
Schmerber.
you've got like on the fountain on the sides, there's like you painted like rust or like splat like stains.
Hmm.
It's I'm baffled, dude. I'm in love with that. Yeah, you got to send pictures because I want to show my GF, my
Yeah,
girlfriend. She's gonna be
absolutely.
like, "What the hell?" She's not even gonna want to try and make any anymore. She's like, "I want to try and make dioramas," and I'm like, "Babe, don't even look at this. Look what Alexander's making. Just keep it up."
No, she'd probably do it better than me.
No,
Where
that's
is this
amazing,
one?
dude. I'm
Where's
I'm in
this
awe.
one? Oh, I don't know what happened to it. Oh, anyway. So
What you can do is if you want when this show does, I'll message you when the show is gonna come out.
okay,
It'll probably be late June or beginning of July.
okay.
I will message you, and if you want me to add pictures to the post of your goods, we can do that. I'll be like, this episode of New to Mythics is presented, is Alexander Deshaw, and here's his fountains that he was showing on the show. So we can add these when we do the post.
Okay. So I'll just kind
That's
of describe it.
amazing, dude.
So this piece is from Dang Studios.
Okay.
Dusty
I've heard of it.
Stanford,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Dusty. Yeah.
I wish I had it because I don't know. Oh gosh, these symbols
Mm-hmm.
light up with UV light.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Genius.
and it's on.
You
It's
guys are
on.
like next level on these,
So, yeah,
next level.
trying to you know push myself to do
Yeah. Is
things
it
that I don't
competitive?
know.
Is there a lot of,
I mean, there's a lot of dial people,
yeah.
but I don't see a whole lot of people doing fountains.
No, I don't
Um,
either. No, I just meant like, in the whole diorama industry and all
oh,
that stuff. Is there a lot of, you know,
not not really competition. I don't. I mean, MesquiCon, me, Dusty, and Brian from Carver Customs.
yeah,
We were inseparable,
yeah.
and I actually have
Brian's a cool
some.
dude too. I
Yeah,
don't really
I
know
have
Dusty too well, but Brian is an awesome,
oh, both
that the
immaculate
Charbot
dudes.
Charbot
Yeah,
is a super cool.
so cool,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
cool.
But
And
I love
actually,
that, like you guys coming up with new things, just to
and
make the line better and cooler. You guys are enhancing the,
yeah,
already
we.
cool stuff.
I actually have a few of Brian's lanterns that I'm going to be incorporating into
Love those lanterns, man. Those things
some
are so
fountain
damn
stuff.
cool.
So it
Super cool. Yeah.
it'll be really cool once they're done. So I'm excited
I'm
to
excited, dude. I can't
leave
wait
it.
to peruse your wares at Legions Con.
Oh, and
Uh,
there's a couple things that I'm not talking about yet that are
I
going to be,
understand.
and they're smaller than fountains, and
Okay.
they're yeah,
Put me down
they're
for one of each, dude. I'm
all right,
intrigued.
all
But
right.
yeah, that fountain, I will
You
pick.
want to see it again? I can grab it.
Yes, one more time. One more time. Let me get close. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that's mine, dude. Unless someone else has claimed it already, I want that. That is amazing.
When I take a picture of it, I'll put Asa on it.
Oh, that right there, dude. That will be it right there. Oh, I love that. I'm in love with that, dude. That is stunning.
This is my first one I did. I did that one and the white one together,
Yeah,
and
I am in love with that piece, dude. That is,
it turned out really good. So I was like,
oh,
yeah, I'll be making more of those.
yes.
So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That one's mine. Thank you.
yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
just let me know. I'll send. I'm PayPal ready, as they say. PayPal ready. Maybe not right now. Maybe this coming Friday. I'll be PayPal ready.
Sounds
We'll
good.
talk. We'll talk. We'll
We'll
talk.
talk. We'll talk for sure.
But yeah, thank you so much, dude, for your time.
Dude, thanks for having me
I got to
on.
work tomorrow. You probably got to work too.
Oh yeah, I do.
But we'll do this again, man. I appreciate you
Absolutely,
being on and spending time and talking toys and you know
anytime, man. Anytime you
showing me
want
your
to.
wares. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing that stuff, dude.
Yes,
That's some scoops,
absolutely.
man.
Thanks for having me
We
on.
got some
Yeah,
cool
I
stuff.
think
I
that's the first time I've done that.
can't wait to see what else you got. And I
Yeah,
can't wait to Legions Con, man. We're gonna have some
it's gonna be a blast.
epic times, dude. It's gonna be so much damn fun.
Absolutely.
So check out Alexander on his Instagram, Drunk
Thank you.
Gizmo Customs.
Yep.
Hit him up if you're interested in buying his stuff. Um, he's in the cabal just like me.
Yep.
Um,
Hit me
so
up.
yeah,
We'll
yeah,
chat.
and you're on shows too, right? Do you do shows yourself? Are you in shows, or you just do like guest stars and shit?
Mainly guest stars.
Yeah,
There's talks of doing uh, a YouTube channel,
you should,
um,
dude. You should.
of like how tos and just cooking
Yes.
videos, and
Yeah.
it's in the talks. And there, my friend Alex and I are talking about doing a
Yeah.
toy podcast,
I'd
and
watch, man. I'd sub, dude.
so yeah,
I'd watch that for sure.
there's some things in the
Yeah, like
works.
a instructional thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so
Definitely.
we'll see.
All right, my man. You have a good night, dude. I appreciate you
Yeah,
so much. Thank you
you
very,
too.
very much for being on,
Thank
dude,
you for having
and
me on,
spending
man.
time.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I had a great time talking to you, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you very, very much.
absolutely.
And I will see you. Hopefully we'll meet up at Tardy's, dude.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. We got to get together before Legion's Con. We'll
Yeah,
get a bite or something. We'll grab Gavin and
get some
talk toys and
breakfast.
hang out. Get some breakfast.
Get some breakfast.
Absolutely. Get some breakfast for sure. All right, my man. Have a
All
good
right,
one.
buddy.
Thank you
You
very
too.
much. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys. Bye.
Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much. Purple gang.